So much pizzazz.
I was about to say, I got my jazz hands out.
Why, hello, everybody.
Hello.
I was trying to find a theme to kind of
Encompass what we talk
right,
about. Yeah.
that.
You want the right vibe.
Right, I need the aesthetics and everything to match.
Right. I feel you. I'm the same
And I
way.
was like, you know what? Big band, whatever feel. I was like, yeah. Okay. So it's a lot of things, happening,
A lot of things.
a lot of things.
The world is on fire.
I don't know if you wanted to talk about it since this just broke. The Roe v. Wade.
I will if you want to, because you're the one that doesn't like to get political. I relish getting political. You know?
Yeah, I don't mind. I just I know we're gonna be very different on this. uh, we're gonna fall on two probably
Which is
opposite
fine.
sides of
Which
the
is
fence.
fine because I'm an adult and I'm able to listen to other people and disagree and not get stupid, which I think is a big problem nowadays. People assume, or maybe it's not assume, people are under the impression nowadays that if you don't agree with everything that someone believes in, that means you're somehow against them, or it doesn't have to be that way. So I'm aware we're probably going to be on two different ends of the spectrum for this one.
Well, just for those that don't know, it was reported, I think,
Is
early this morning,
Yeah.
late last night. Supreme Court has voted to overturn abortion rights, and this was a draft opinion that was leaked. I have no idea how it was leaked, but and obviously those that are aware, I guess Roe v. Wade was decided in 1973. Ah, good old 1973.
Mm.
Love and happiness and killing babies.
Drugs, drugs.
It was ruled. I think Texas. I don't know. I'm stupid, but yeah, it was a landmark case for women's rights and rights to their body. I know you won't even eat somebody stranded on a mountain, so I know you
No.
don't want to condone the killing of fetuses.
No, and you know what? My opinion has changed over the years because there's going to be people who listen to this and go, "But Tina, you used to be pro-choice." And I would say, "You're correct." But I grew up and my opinions and my morals have changed. So, um I'm not for abortion. Uh it's I'm seeing a lot of these people now, the protesters who are outside the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
Um a lot of my body, my choice. But those were the same people telling everyone to fucking get vaccinated against their will. So I find that to be very interesting, where it's, you know, very hypocritical.
Okay, so then on the same side of that, you are against abortion but for vaccinations.
Right, and I'll explain why. Because I know that seems like it doesn't make sense, but I'll explain the difference. My body, my choice is fine when it's just one body. When there's something growing in you, like a baby, that's now two bodies. I'm fine with women doing whatever they want to their own bodies. And this is this is what I don't understand. Do you know how many forms of contraception there are right now? Hundreds. It's very simple to not get pregnant. It's, let's have some responsibility.
Well, what about cases of rape and incest?
Yeah, I get it. I wouldn't want a 12-year-old rape victim to have to give birth. I understand there's different exceptions to the rule. My problem is with it, how do you allow those exceptions when people can lie? Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, I think that's the thing is because there are exceptions.
Now, obviously, a 12-year-old, in the case of a 12-year-old, that's different. When it's children, if they get pregnant, that's they don't have any consent. I'm obviously for children, that's one thing. But you're talking about a very, very, very small percentage of pregnancies that are rape. So it's a small. I understand that it happens, and I'm all for exceptions. But what do you do when a 20-year-old gets pregnant and then wants an abortion, and then the only way to get the abortion is to say it's rape, to get the exception? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a problem in that. So I'm all for the exception, but it's just how do you apply that? To me, if you're going to have sex, you either A, need to have some form of contraception if you don't want a baby, or B, don't fuck at all, which I know is going to be really hard for people. There's so many. It should never just be fuck or abortion. Do you know what I'm saying?
I agree that you shouldn't fall back on abortion as a form of birth control. But I think in this instance, because there are exceptions, they make the rule. Because you can't overturn Roe versus Wade and then say fuck you to those outliers.
Well, I'm not saying to say fuck you to them.
Yeah, but you can't make exceptions. That's the whole purpose.
Well, maybe
of the
I like I said, I don't exactly know what the answer is. I just know my opinion and what I would personally do. Abortion was never an option in my mind. Now, you know the story with how I got pregnant with Sophia. It was not planned.
You guys fucked. Just like all the rest of us.
It was not planned, but never in my mind did I think, well, this is going to really put a damper on my situation, so let's kill the baby. That never even occurred to me. And now the thing that I'm noticing is these abortion clinics, it's not really about health. It's now become an at your whim service of taking something out of you and then selling the parts on the black market. That they tried to lie about, that was proven that they do. So I just can't support an industry that sells baby parts and is okay with abortion at full term, because that was another thing they throw around, and they've changed in some states, where now you can get an abortion full fucking term. The kid could be outside your vagina, and you could say, I don't want it. And they could, if the baby needs oxygen or something, they could just leave it on a table. It's insanity.
I'm okay with taking baby parts.
Here we go again.
Stem cells. I'm okay with all that.
I'm not. I don't think it's right. I think the reason society has such ill regard for people and life starts at the most the most basic of all things, a pregnant woman. That fetus, that zygote, whatever it is at the time that you decide to abort, it's wrong. It's morally wrong to me. Some people are going to disagree with that. Some people are going to be like, yes, go get that abortion, girl. That's not me. I don't think it's right. And I think if you're an adult and you're having sex, there's, I don't know, hundreds of contraception to choose from. There's just no reason to even need that. To me, I don't understand it. And it's another way of people not taking responsibility for their actions.
Well, contraceptives aren't 100%.
They're not 100%, but they're pretty damn close if you're not a complete fucking moron.
I mean,
how hard is it to put a condom on?
Well, a condom is like 93% effective. So
okay, add some spermicide. That puts it up to, I think, 98%.
Right. So 2 out of every 100 times you run the risk of...
Right, that's a risk. Life is all about risks. When I go out and I drive my car, I'm taking a risk that I could die. You know, we all take risks. So if you want to fuck and you want to fuck a lot, just all I'm saying is find a way to not get pregnant. And here's another thing that people, maybe I'm old-fashioned. How about don't have sex with someone if you don't think you would ever have their baby?
Well,
why is that difficult?
That's crazy.
I don't think it's crazy.
Yeah, because you're biased, because that's all you know, really.
So?
Right. It's easy for you because
it's not
that's
easy
the life
for me.
that you live.
It's not easy for me. I take responsibility for my actions. And it's, you know, if you don't think if you're sleeping with someone, you should at least trust a person, right?
You're talking in a very idealistic. People fuck to fuck, man.
I'm aware. That's why I said there's
the majority.
There's plenty of contraception out there.
Right.
It's you know, to me it's such a simple thing. Yet people make it so much more difficult for themselves than it has to be.
I think that there are plenty of outliers that justify upholding Roe vs. Wade.
Yeah,
I think for every
it's not for me.
one rape victim, like one abortion from a rape victim, is worth...
You're talking about less...
100,000 that aren't.
You know, you might want to look this up. I believe that number is like so minute. It's barely ever happens.
Right.
And everyone likes to bring that up as a reason why we should keep abortion.
Yeah. I understand that it's such a small... It's okay. You know, and this is all going to make sense. Do you know why the McDonald's coffee cup says caution hot?
Yeah, because a little old lady spilled 150-degree coffee on her lap and got severe burns. Yes, I understand.
Right. Don't you think that everybody who's ever seen or been in the vicinity of coffee knows it's hot?
Yes, but what you're describing is an issue that became an issue because lawyers decided they could profit off of it.
Well,
Okay?
I'm just talking.
There's a difference.
I'm just talking. One person out of 7 billion spilled hot coffee on their lap, and now McDonald's has regulated the coffee cups to say caution, hot, will burn.
It's the same reason toys have choking hazard, keep out of reach of. I get it.
Because of the one kid
Because of
that
yes,
swallowed.
and because one lawyer said, "Hey, we can make a ton of fucking money off of this."
Right.
But that's the world is run by insurance companies and lawyers and bankers. In case anyone didn't know that, but to me, that's you're talking about two completely different.
Well, I'm just
scenarios.
I'm
But I get it.
posing the math. The one,
I get it.
and
I
think
understand.
that justifies it. Because what do you tell that person? Like, sorry, you're out of luck?
No, like if it's a child, I say, yeah, for all children, of course. Of course, because they can't even consent anyway. They've been abused. It's horrific. And then you're going to force that little girl to go through childbirth. Traumatic. Ruin their lives forever. Yes. For children, sure. For a 19-year-old who decides to have sex and then doesn't use proper contraception, well, these are the risks you take when you have sex. Just like the risks of driving a vehicle, getting on a plane, anything. Chopping vegetables up in a kitchen. You could cut your fucking finger off. I mean, there's risks to life. People need to take responsibility for these risks, is all I'm saying. Killing babies and allowing, on the flip side, okay, you've brought up, rape and incest, and it's horrific, and I get it. But what do you do about the women who have 10 abortions? Because I know someone who's had 7. So what do you do about that? Do you think that's okay?
Sure.
Yeah, no, I can't do it. I can't, in my mind, I can't justify it.
I mean, if someone's had 7 abortions, I mean, outside of their own slew of health issues that must cause, yeah. I don't think life begins at conception, so
I do.
I don't. I think that's crazy.
When do you think it happens?
When do I think?
When do you think it's life? At what point? When they're born? 16 weeks? 20 weeks? What is it? What's life?
I would say the moment it can survive outside the body.
Okay, well, we're at a point now where technology is allowing babies at 20 weeks to survive.
Okay.
So
anything before 20 weeks.
Okay, but do you know how big a baby is at 20 weeks? You're halfway done.
Okay. So?
That's a baby.
No.
That is a baby.
It's almost a baby.
It's a baby.
It
doesn't look like a tadpole. It looks like a baby at that point.
It's half cooked to me.
You know?
It's not a baby yet. Until it can survive outside the womb.
Okay, well, what about these cases of the abortion where they, up until delivery?
Hey, if we want to argue, at what point, that's different. I don't believe in late-term abortion. That is, now you're getting into a moral gray area for me because, like I said, if it can breathe and survive with a high percentage outside of the womb.
I'm going to give you a hypothetical.
Okay.
What if in 50 years, which by the way, guys, I don't think we'll be around in 50 years.
Yes.
But
that's why it's a hypothetical.
In 50 years, if the technology was so amazing that a baby at, I don't know, 10 weeks, they could keep that baby alive out of the womb in like, if you want to talk like science fiction,
Incubator.
in like a you know,
a pod.
a pod, like a womb.
Like the Matrix.
So then your position would have to change, right?
Correct. But
now all of a sudden, the 10-week-old baby is worth saving.
I also think that if that was the technology, there would be no abortions.
That's not true, because we have all these advancements now, and abortion is a huge industry in this country.
Yeah,
huge.
But if the technology got to that point, what's the worst part? Okay, so you're a 19-year-old that gets pregnant, right?
Which, before you continue, it's not just teenagers who have oopses and mistakes.
30,
it doesn't matter the age, but just for sake of argument, okay, 19-year-old.
Okay. Has no business having a kid. Why, other than the financial burdens and everything, but I think most women, and maybe I'm wrong, just don't want to be pregnant. They don't want to go through carrying this baby to term to have it, right? So if you could cut it out, non-invasive surgery, put it in a pod, why even have abortions?
Because then their industry is over.
Well, they could still...
Do you see what I'm saying?
They could still take the pod out back and chop it up.
Well, and that would be, Anthony, that's exactly what would happen.
Okay.
It's
problem solved.
Gross.
Yeah.
It's gross. And this is something that I don't understand about people today, society today. It's this, people cannot, everyone's out for instant gratification, okay?
Sure. So
the concept of, well, people are going to fuck, so, whatever. And you're never going to get people to stop having sex.
Nope.
I get it. But wouldn't it be a lot easier to raise the 19-year-old to be responsible? Because this is what I've told my kids. This is what, well, at least Sophia, because she's old enough. I get the temptations there. There's always going to be temptations in life. Okay? You have to be smart about what you're doing. Because, and that's with anything. There's consequences to actions. And just allowing everyone to just free nilly-willy do whatever the fuck they want has created a society that cannot put their instant gratification on hold for 2 fucking seconds. So this is just another example of how it, I don't know, of how people just make excuses for things that they do. And look, one day, if something happens and Sophia, God, I hope not, gets pregnant before she wants to get pregnant, I will probably tell her, you don't have to keep the baby, but we're putting it up for adoption. Or I'll tell her, I'll help you. I'll help you in any way I can. So instead of telling her, let's just go down to the clinic.
I wanted some background music for you.
Shut the fuck up.
I wanted to make sure you had something for that soapbox you've been on for 20 minutes.
You brought the topic up. You knew where I was going to stand before I even said anything. Motherfucker had that music queued up since the beginning. You had that queued up since the beginning because you knew how this was going to go.
I was waiting for my opportune time. Actually, I wanted America the Beautiful, but I didn't know if I would get.
copyright
I'm
stricken. I
assuming
don't know.
that's.
It's too old. I think it's
that's in the public domain.
yeah, it's still public domain. I'm just saying, my moral compass tells me it's wrong and I don't support it. You can do whatever you want. I personally think it's reprehensible. So,
Well, I think it's a wonderful industry.
you're awful.
And I'm all for baby parts. Also,
a few things about Coachella and the fecal delivery.
That's never gonna die.
Nope. I'll keep it going forever. All right. We're gonna move off this topic.
It does kind of go into the next topic, which is shame.
Well, it does. I felt it would mesh well. This we're gonna agree on.
Yes, I think we will. I think we will. So it was in the news, and the only reason I even knew that I was in the news was because a friend of mine on Facebook had.
Perfect.
That's where I get all of my news, guys.
That's where
social media.
You should. That's where you.
I don't know if you're familiar with Hinsdale Central High School.
No, not familiar.
Apparently, they have a furry issue going on.
Right.
In their school. They're allowing, from what I've read, students to put on furry costumes at school. Now, Anthony, do you want to explain what a furry costume is to those who might not know what this genre is?
Well, furry, it's a lifestyle. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's alternate personality based on an anthropomorphic animal.
Yeah.
You could identify as a wolf or a dog or a cat or a dragon.
Now, here's the thing. I'm all for people having creative outlets. Like these conventions where people dress up and they make their costumes and it's super cool and it's just like a fun little hobby, right? Awesome. Sure. You want to go to a furry convention, because yes, those do exist, and you want to dress up like Mr. fucking Fox and bang someone in a stairwell, because the other thing
it's
with
not
furries,
always sexual.
There's a sexual connotation to a lot of it. It's a kink for a lot of people. You want to go to a convention and be with other people who want to dress up in a furry costume? Have at it. I support you. Here's where I think we should draw the line. Keep your fucking weirdness in your home or in a designated place that allows for the weirdness, okay? You and I, if we had a corporate job where we had to go into an office every day, would you be able to just like dress up like Wolverine every day? Or would that be kind of a distraction? It's definitely not professional looking, right?
I mean, is my furry wearing a shirt and tie? I mean, I can make it professional.
My point is,
I wouldn't care.
So I'm going to circle around. This will make sense in a minute. Jacob, my youngest, when he was really little, loved to dress up. Like, he would wear costumes all the time. He loved to dress up. And there were times when he was like 3 or 4 where if I had to go to the grocery store or I had to run errands, he'd come with me and he'd want to wear his costumes. And I thought, it's totally cool. It's fine. He's 3. But there comes a point in time where that's no longer acceptable, right? Like, I'm not going to send him in a Batman costume every day when he's in 6th grade, because what will happen? a healthy dose of shame. And I'm not going to do that because he's going to get made fun of, right? It's distracting. Just wear your goddamn jeans and a t-shirt. My whole thing is, number one, why are parents allowing their kids to walk out of the house in a fucking furry costume? And number two, why are these schools capitulating? Because now what I've read is you have students, and I actually did hear about this in the districts out by me. They want like litter boxes now if they're a cat. They want the school to supply them with litter boxes. So when do you draw? And I swear to God, look it up. Look it up.
Do they shit in the litter box? Or is it just for show?
I don't even want to know. I have no idea. But my point is,
I draw the line at shitting in a litter box in the classroom.
Where do you draw the line? Like there has to be a line drawn. And to me, like my buddy on Facebook said, he's like, I don't think they got the shit kicked out of them enough in school. Because I think everyone has been bullied at some point in their life. Everyone's been made fun of. Right? I have.
Probably less so now.
Well, I'm going to get into why, though.
Right.
I can remember Solomon Rigsby making fun of me.
Solomon Rigsby.
Made fun of my gap teeth every day.
Yeah.
He was an asshole. I'm not for like bullying, okay? I don't think you should like relentlessly bully, but there's a healthy dose of shame that I think everyone needs at some point in their life.
And you're saying there's less of that now.
Right. Because now, if you notice, especially
everybody's a winner.
Well, the language even, fat shaming, body shaming, you're phobic this, phobic that.
You're furrophobic.
I'm a furrophobic fucking indeed, dude. Indeed.
It's a shame.
It's, I don't...
I'm all for it.
Make America great again? No. Make America shame again. Is what I say.
I think this world could benefit.
Oh, from some shame?
No, from people walking around as furries. I think it's hilarious. Doesn't bother me at all. I could be in a Zoom meeting with 9 different animals. As long as they're dressed appropriately.
I couldn't take it seriously.
I could. Doesn't matter. People are weird.
Oh, I know.
Right. And again...
But why do we're allowing weirdness that shouldn't be there? And
says who?
Look, you want to be weird in your home. I don't fucking care what you do.
What's the
you
difference?
Want to go to a convention? Fine.
What's the difference?
The difference is this is something, I actually just had this conversation with my kids. And it was about words. Because Sophia is getting like her mother and sometimes has a sailor mouth, okay? And I had to I told her, look, I know you're going to swear. That's fine. But, there's language you use at school with your friends. There's language you use with your parents. There's language you use with a job. There's different situations call for different things, for lack of a better word.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying.
But what is the harm in some dude walking down the street dressed like a kitty cat? Who cares? Like, how does that affect you?
My specific thing was the school stuff. It's a distraction and it's goofy. And I'm sorry. the fact that nobody turns to that kid and goes, "What the fuck are you wearing?" just goes to show you the difference between today and like when we were in junior high, high school. You'd get made fun of for sure.
Sure. Absolutely.
So, do you think the world's better off with the shame and keeping their kinks and stuff private? Or do you think the world's better off with people running around in furry costumes wanting to take shits in a litter box?
Well,
Which do you think is better?
That I draw the line.
I
at
know you
shitting
draw
in the litter
shitting in
box.
the litter box. Got it.
But
You
as-
draw the line at litter boxes. I draw the line at eating people. That's
well, I'm not saying you should just eat somebody, but I think that as long as it doesn't negatively affect me or other people, like you could make that argument, well, it's distracting. Maybe as kids it's not as advised, but once you're an adult, hey man, you want to wear the kitty cat outfit and try to work the fry later with that thing on? Go for it. Like
you want to
it-
light yourself on fire?
exactly.
It smells like polyester burning in
Yes.
here.
That is your right. Go for it. I've seen how some of the kids dress at 13, 14. I'd rather they wore a furry costume.
That's funny you should say that because I took Sophia and her cousin, my niece, to the mall on Saturday.
The worst.
And we went to Orland Mall because the Joliet Mall is ridiculous. I could not believe the clothes in some of these stores. And I'm like, am I secretly 80 years old? And I'm just like, back in my day, like, have I gotten to that point or is this shit outrageous? Because I'm going to tell you what, some of the clothes that I saw that in a teeny bopper 16, 17-year-old store looked like shit that strippers would buy at Fredericks of Hollywood for their stage time. Seriously, no joke. You're loving the sounds, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, they don't make them like they did when we were younger.
It's weird.
And I don't want this to get taken out of context, but if it's a generational thing, and maybe it's because I'm getting older, but now whenever I hear a report of like a 45-year-old guy, like, caught checking out a 14-year-old, I kind of get it. Like, I kind of get it. Like, I'm not saying it's right, but the way some of these kids are dressing and looking and...
Okay. To what you're saying, that's why I never liked these little kitty fucking pageants.
Well, sure.
Like the Jean-Benet Ramseys of the world. You're going to paint your kid's face to look like a hooker and put her in these clothes to make her look older so that old men could... why even do that? Like, why even put that out there? And I know exactly what... People are going to hear this and they're going to go, oh, victim shaming, eh? No, I'm not victim shaming at all, even though I believe in healthy doses of shame.
Right.
But...
just not for victims.
Not for victims. Why put your kid in that position? Do you know what I'm saying? That would be equivalent to me taking Sophia and putting her in a skin-tight dress and putting makeup all over her face and not thinking that could potentially be a problem. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think the John Bonet thing...
They determined it was not her parents.
Well,
It
again,
was,
I don't...
who knows?
but I don't see a lot of that anymore. I'm sure it still happens, but I don't hear or see a lot of
Toddlers and Tiaras, that show,
uh,
girl who was on it just died at 16.
did she have kids?
You know what? She might have killed herself because she aborted a kid. No, I'm kidding. No,
I was
I'm
going to
kidding.
say.
I don't know the details. I just saw the headline. But yeah, the clothes are insane. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's just not appropriate is what I'm saying.
Okay.
There's appropriate way. You know, this is such an easy concept, and I don't get why people don't understand this.
So wait. So what's worse? 13-year-old dressing like a hooker
Mm-hmm.
or wearing a cat costume?
I'd rather her in the fucking cat costume,
Yeah.
but preferably neither.
Well, you have to choose one.
Well, I just told you.
Right.
But, you know, in my world, it would be
You know, if Jean
none.
Bonnet was dressed like a cat, she'd probably be alive today.
She wasn't looking so sexy on that stage. She wouldn't have been molested and killed.
You're right. See? Sounds like a good enough reason to make your kids dress like furries. I like it. I think it's interesting. I think that there are a lot of ways people try to, I don't know, stand out from a crowd, maybe. Some I agree with more than others. I think if you want to have a animal alter ego, have at it.
I'm
Just-
just wondering what happened to keeping your weirdness behind closed doors? What
Well,
happened to that?
Social media. That's what happened.
So what you're saying is social media is ruining everyone.
Yeah, it is. This is the direct result of Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat,
Yeah.
this Vine. This is what you get.
Awesome.
A generation of people brought up to believe that every moment of every day has to be digitally categorized and on display. That includes, you didn't hear anything about, I mean, furries have been around for a while.
Oh, I've known, yeah.
But you're not going to read reports of litter boxes 30 years ago.
No,
And-
that's a new thing. That's
I'm
that's
just
new.
saying
Yeah.
that you would have never read something like that 30 years ago.
'Cause there was a healthy dose of shame.
There was this plenty of shame, and also it was a, I don't want to say like a secret group, but
It was more underground.
underground.
Yeah.
Like, you know, oh, you're a furry? Oh,
I'm
a
all for keeping it underground.
I am too, but there are worse things that
Oh,
people could
well,
be,
Obviously.
you know,
Obviously, there's
like
worse things.
people with sub-dom relationships where they've got the fucking dude on
I
a
know.
leash going through Walmart.
I mean,
It's like,
that's insanity.
keep that shit at home.
Right. See?
But
See?
there's more.
Because, and why is that? Because there's acceptable behavior in public and there's behavior you do behind closed doors. All I'm saying is keep your weird shit to yourself. I don't care what you do. You know, you want to dress up like a fucking tiger and screw a penguin on the weekend? I couldn't care less. But I would like to personally go back to a time when people still believed there's a way you act in public, there's a way you act with your friends, there's a way you act at your work, and there's a way you act behind closed doors. Simple.
There are no more lines. People, that'll never happen because of social media. Like I said, everything like active, open, all day, every day. Just
A little bit of everything all of the time. You need to clip that up.
oh yeah,
A bit of
That would
everything all of
definitely
the
get
time.
copy stricken.
I don't know. Bo Burnham's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's good.
I don't think he would care.
Well, it's not Bo Burnham.
It's whoever owns the
Sony
Sony
Music
or
or
whatever.
whatever.
Yeah, I know.
I could probably play about 5 seconds. Yeah,
But it's exquisite. The song encapsulates exactly what the internet is
well, but
and what it's becoming.
I don't think it's just the internet.
Well, it's the digital world, whether
Just-
it's
yeah.
social media,
Correct.
the internet, whatever.
The internet is an amazing place. It's all the other, like, the internet as an idea is great.
Hey,
It's the execution.
what's worse, a furry or a brony? What's worse?
I mean, I consider bronies a subcategory of furry.
But which one's worse?
Well, they're both.
I think bronies might be worse.
I think bronies are just a very specific type of furry. Because again, it's not even.
And for those listening, Anthony, explain what a brony is.
Well, it's people who dress up like the characters from My Little Pony.
Insanity.
Which I don't give a shit. I'm not into it. But if some dude was walking down the street dressed up like Rainbow
Okay.
Dash,
I'm going to tell you this is the problem. This is the long-term problem to allowing this stuff. Cuz when anything goes, then there is no moral compass or way of living that's correct, or do you know what I'm saying? It's what are you looking up? I dig it. I see where you're going.
Mhm.
Forgot where I was going.
This is where you're going.
I'll tell you what they ought to do about homelessness. First thing, change the name of it. Change the name of the condition. It's not homelessness.
It's houselessness.
It's houses these people need. A home is an abstract idea. A home is a setting. It's a state of mind. These people need houses, physical, tangible structures. But where are you going to put them? Where are you going to
Not in my backyard.
housing near their house. People don't want it near them. We got something in this country, you've heard of it, it's called NIMBY, N-I-M-B-Y. Not in my backyard.
So
Yeah.
that's you.
Yeah.
You're totally cool with it. Not in my backyard.
No. Nope.
Eh. I'm
Now
all for
look.
it.
The more we just allow to happen, the worse society will get. And I know people might think, oh, the jump from a furry to full-blown society crumbling, you're, way overreaching. I'm really not. Because as you can see from the, when did the internet, I remember being
2004.
No, I remember being on chat rooms on AIM when I was 14-ish, I think. 15, somewhere around there. From that time, so I'm going to be 39 this year. So from me being 14 to me being 39, society it's unrecognizable. So just imagine another 20 years from now. Not that we'll be around, but I mean, just imagine. That's what I'm saying. There's got to be some kind of fucking rules to live by. Otherwise, it's a free-for-all.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Let it be a free-for-all. If it makes you happy to dress up like a furry.
Okay, that's do as thou wilt shit.
Right.
I'm not
what's
into
wrong
it.
with that?
No, not into it. I don't believe it in it.
If you could wear a MAGA hat and fly a flag, then this person should be able to dress up like Rainbow Dash. I don't think they should be allowed to shit in public. I don't think it should be sexualized in public. But other than that, there's no difference to me with someone wearing a furry costume than regular clothes. It's
Mm.
whatever. And if I worked with a furry, I would love those Zoom meetings. I would love it. I'm all for it.
What if you were in the ER and a doctor came up in a furry costume? Would you take his advice seriously, or would you look at him and be like, "You're a motherfucking weirdo"?
I would take the advice seriously. I wouldn't want him to perform any type of procedure.
You're like, you do realize that's very unsanitary to wear that while you're
Right. Right.
surgically removing
But
something.
if he passed medical school, I trust him as much as any other doctor.
Yeah. Would you take mental advice from a therapist wearing a furry costume?
Maybe. Depends.
Because
What type of animal? Are they wise like an owl? I would love to get therapy from an owl. But I see what you're saying. I don't think it's a mental health issue.
I do.
I think there are other areas that, and I'm not saying it's not possible that someone is a furry and also suffering from a mental, but at least the people in the furry outfits you can see. Like, you don't know what shit your surgeon or your therapist is going through mentally.
That is true.
So at least furries are showing you the crazy. They're
Yeah,
honest.
I'm not really sure what's worse. Hiding all of your hiding everything, or,
Yeah,
or
then you
putting it out
see-
in the open.
You see that guy and you're like, that's a guy I don't want to talk to. I don't need to. Or you do. I personally don't care. I don't think it really hinders anything as long as everybody agrees. I don't want to see a fucking furry dinosaur with a 12-inch rubber dick walking around. Like, but
But there are people who would.
well, that I don't agree with. But I do enjoy going to conventions and
Oh yeah,
not
I've gone
furry
to
conventions.
I've gone to a couple. I've gone to the
Me
one with you
Yeah.
and the kids, and then I went to one that was for Stranger Things, and then I went to another one where I met Jon Snow from Game of Thrones,
No.
Kit Harington.
We went, me and the girlfriend, we went to Fan Expo in Philly. And that was fun. A lot of weird, overly sexual,
Yeah.
But again, a lot of these characters, and we're not talking furries, but a lot of these female game characters.
Well, they're
and-
very sexualized.
that-
Yeah.
They don't leave a lot to the imagination.
Hey, what are you dressed up as? The hooker in GTA 5.
It's like, who was modeled after, what's her face? Parent Trap. Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay Lohan? Is that
Yes.
true?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, was it GTA 5? GTA 4? I don't remember. One of them, Lindsay Lohan, had a lawsuit and whatever. But yeah, lot of overly sexualized. Like, I don't think those people should walk around in public, but I'll dress up. I'll dress up for Halloween.
Oh, I dress up every Halloween.
I
I always dress up.
like to put on costumes.
Sophia's a Halloween baby.
Mhm.
So we always treated Halloween, big.
And you remember? What did I always have?
What do you mean, for what?
Like, what did I always wear?
For Halloween?
No, no, no.
No, are you talking
Just
about
in general. There's one
sweaters?
No. A cape.
When were you wearing it?
I always walked around with a cape.
When you were little? Or are you talking when you're little?
Well, little, not, yeah, I wasn't 14, but I would wear the plasticky capes, Dracula capes.
Vaguely remember that.
And if I ripped one, I would put on one of Papa's shirts and button the top button.
I
And it
remember
was-
when you used to do the top button like a cholo for
Right.
a while there.
Yeah. Well, I was ahead of the curve, but I loved
I was
wearing
a cholo
capes.
before cholos were
Yeah.
cool. No.
Oh, I have pictures of me wearing polyester dragon t-shirts with the top button buttoned, believe me, with my silver chain. God, I was so fucking cool. Talk about
Well, you thought you were cool, but yeah.
slamming that puss.
Oh my god.
Talk about getting girls pregnant.
Oh god, I don't want to know. Don't want to know.
No, that wasn't the case. Also, circle back, Ian was conceived on both forms of birth control. So,
That you know of.
well, I know for sure one. I mean, I did, I wasn't there every minute she took the pill, but
Well, yeah. I mean, it matters if that you take it at the same time every day. You don't skip a pill. You're not on an antibiotic because
I mean,
antibiotics make them not work.
according to her,
Okay, I'll take her word for it. Fine.
that-
She's an anomaly.
right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or you just have super seed.
it's thick. Yeah. It's definitely viscous for sure.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. Yep. It's like a salt lick. I've been told. Yep.
I don't even want to imagine it.
Me either.
Have you tried it to know?
I have a funny. You want to hear a funny story?
Really don't. Not involved in that.
I'm gonna tell
I
you.
gotta draw the line.
No. I'm gonna tell. This is a great story. So, I'm a lay on my back jerk offer.
Oh Jesus!
Just, it
I get it.
right.
I get it. Comfortable. Got it.
Also, I am not known as a heavy masturbator,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I figured out years ago that porn is one of the
Worst things.
worst things.
Oh, it's
correct.
It's one of the worst things. Yeah.
And it is heavily contributing to like
Sex
the downfall of society.
Well, sex trafficking.
all of it. It's all
of
bad.
it. It's all bad.
And I'm not a big porn. I used to be. Oh God, did I used to be, but not anymore. And this happened a while ago. So I'm on my back, getting all comfy.
I know exactly where this is going.
Oh, of course you do. And I get to the point, and it goes directly into my mouth.
Yeah.
Like the circus game with the clown's mouth.
The shooting game.
Just a stream,
Delicious.
a rope, just
Like Spider-Man.
it like hit my uvula like a little bullseye.
You had speed on that one, huh?
Yeah. It sucks I wasted it.
Trajectory too.
I wish I hadn't wasted it on my own mouth.
Jesus Christ. I wish I didn't waste it on my own lips and it was on someone else's lips.
I
My
should have saved
God.
it. Should have saved it.
Gross.
So, yeah, I've had a nibble.
I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Glad to hear it.
You got to be willing to taste your own sauce before you make someone else have it. So, I paid my dues. All right. I think we're good.
Do we end it on that note?
I guess. I don't know what we're going to talk about the next.
What are we at for time?
We're right there.
All right, sweet. That went by quick.
Story of my life. All right. I don't know. What are we talking about the next? Something
Ozark?
for the people to look
Ozark.
forward to.
Ozark. Amazing show.
I've only seen one season.
I'm gonna ruin it, so spoilers will be ahead.
Yeah. Spoiler. Ozark. Next time on Tony and Tina Talks. Well, actually, hold on. It's one of my favorite sounds. All right. We're going to wrap it up. Talk to you later.
Talk to you.